everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my small palette collection. So I actually store these somewhere separately from my makeup collection. So obviously, as you probably know from watching my Shop My Stash videos, my makeup collection is located primarily in my Alex 9 drawers, which are behind me. My hair is sticking out. But these small palettes I actually store in this container behind me. And so there's quite a bit of makeup in there that I store in there. I store like newer products to me that I'm definitely kind of testing out. I also store in there some of my mini products. So for instance, maybe products that are good for traveling, things like that. And then I have mascaras in there. And then I also do have these mini palettes. So this has no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just literally sharing with you my small palettes. So let's start with this first drawer here. So firstly, I have the Tartelette Jewel palette. And this one I actually did talk about in my ranking video. So I did go ahead and pick this one up this year. And I'm not gonna swatch everything, but I will show you my favorite shades. So these two shades are just absolutely beautiful. I feel like this has such a good formula, especially for it being tart, that here are two of the pretty shades in the palette swatched. And this one is a really good one, you guys. I think it's beautiful, perfect for every day. And it's a really just kind of like nice, elevated, neutral palette. All right, so moving on, something a little bit similar to that one is my Lawless, the baby one palette. This one I did pick up on sale from Sephora. And this one performs really well, you guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. Really, really enjoy these mauve tones and it performs really well. I'm really into purpley mauve toned looks and I feel like this is a perfect palette to kind of achieve that. A really nice, just kind of simple everyday palette with a little bit of pop of color. So really like that one. I also have a mini palette from Too Faced. So this is kind of one of their holiday palettes from last year. This is their Forbidden Fruitcake palette. First off, the packaging is really cute. However, someone mentioned that it looks like vomit and I can never unsee that. And then this is what the inside of this Forbidden Fruitcake palette looks like. So this did launch last year and I definitely need to pull this one out this year, especially because it's already the holiday season and I haven't used it yet. I just feel like the holiday season has completely passed me up and I cannot catch up. So that is another one of my little palettes here. All right, and then I have a few drugstore palettes. So I do have two little 5-pan palettes from Wet n Wild. One of my favorites is Walking on Eggshells, a really nice, just neutral everyday palette, perfect for work. And these are super, super affordable. Really enjoy these from Wet n Wild. I also have the Color Story Petalette, which is a really beautiful, just mauve toned purple. Really, really enjoyed this one as well. And those are the two 5-pan palettes that I have from Wet n Wild. I also have this quad from ColourPop. I've actually considered decluttering this one. This is an all matte palette and it's in the shade Dare to Bear. It's a very, very cool toned neutral quad. And of course they're all matte. There's no shimmers to this one. And this is really nice for every day. It's really nice just for kind of contouring the eye, but it's not something that I gravitate towards a lot. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep this one around, especially because I do have the Dominique Cosmetics all matte palette. I do have this palette. I've actually never tried this, embarrassingly enough. This is from Morphe. So it's the Morphe 2 line, which is a little bit of like that natural, no makeup look brand. This is their Ready in 5 eyeshadow palette in the Color Story Malibu, which is a more warm toned palette. Very, you know, everyday neutrals type of focus here. And this seems like it's a really good formula. It seems like it's going to perform really well. I just have not tried this one yet. So we'll see if I keep this one around. I'm not sure at the moment how I feel about keeping that palette. I also have more Wet n Wild palettes. I have two of their 10-pan palettes. So my personal favorite is the one in Nude Awakening. I love this one. This is a beautiful palette. Love the color story. The formula is also really nice as well. Again, a really nice, just kind of staple neutral palette. I also love that there's a maroon in here as well as like a deeper plum color. Very, very beautiful. And then recently I used this one in a video, and this is the Lights Off color story. So same palette, same like line of products, but this is going to be the shade Lights Off, and this is going to be a more cool toned color palette. And again, super impressed with this one, and I did use this one in a Get Ready With Me not too long ago. Then I have two 4-pan, so 2 quads from Revlon, and these are very, very good. These almost feel like luxury palettes. So these are called, they're So Fierce Prismatic Palettes, and this one is in the shade That's a Dub. These 2 shimmer shades right here are definitely my favorites. Really, really enjoy these. Let me show you these 2 shades, the shades that are my favorite. These just feel a little bit more luxurious than they clearly are. They just seem very, very impactful on the lids, and I just ultimately love how like soft these shades look. I mean, they are so, so pretty. Really, really enjoy this formula. And then I do have another one of those Revlon quads, and this one is in the shade Slight Flex. Really beautiful as well. This is definitely more of a special shade also. It's definitely like a duochrome, so I don't know if the camera will pick up that shade right here. It's definitely more of a duochrome. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. And then this blue shade is pretty amazing as well. Definitely kind of like a unique blue shade there. So really enjoy these palettes from Revlon, and I think that they bring something a little bit different, a little bit unique to the drugstore, because it's a baked eyeshadow formula, and of course you just don't see that very much in drugstore formulas. All right, moving right along, I do have a quad from Undone Beauty, and this is super stunning. This is one of their Curator eye quads, and I have the shade Outfit Optional. This just looks like a perfect, just kind of everyday color story. It's very, very pretty, and these are super, super soft eyeshadows. They're very, very soft, but they do perform. They do perform very, very well. Let me show you some swatches of these. These are super pretty. I definitely need to use these more. So here is the palette completely swatched out. Really, really beautiful, perfect for every day. Love how just kind of metallic these shades look, how smooth these shades look. So this one is super stunning. So those, for the most part, were all of my drugstore mini palettes. And in here, in this next bin here, are going to be more of my like luxury high-end palettes. Of course, you know that I have my Natasha Denona mini palettes. I have quite a few of them. These are definitely some of my favorites within my collection. I have a lot of these. So I do have the Natasha Denona Mini Love Palette. This one is very beautiful. Again, more of that mauvey, purpley tone. Really, really stunning. My personal favorite for sure is the Mini Retro. This is just, in my opinion, the most beautiful mini palette from her. Seriously, you cannot beat this one. The formula is also really, really good. I also have the Mini Nude from her, and Mini Nude is perfect to travel with. It's perfect for every day, and again, this really nice color story. I also have the Mini Glam palette, and this one is probably one of my least favorite when it comes to her minis, mainly because this is kind of like, it's cool tones, but it's almost like it's olive leaning, which is a little bit strange to me. This one I have to be careful with because it did break, but this one is the Mini Gold, and I don't know if I can show you this one, but here is what this one looks like. Really beautiful. I need to play around with that one. I haven't even used that one yet. And then I also have the Mini Star palette. This one is absolutely stunning. It is so, so pretty. Love how versatile this little palette is. Like, even though it's a mini, I feel like you could create a few looks with this palette, which is always really nice when a palette has, when a 5-pan, right, has versatility. And then here is the mini Biba. So really, really enjoy these minis from Natasha Denona. All right, so I have another quad here, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad. And this one I'm actually a little bit disappointed in. I don't think the quality is that good, in my opinion. I feel like it's definitely lacking, and it just leaves me feeling a little bit underwhelmed and wanting more whenever I use this palette. But I do have that one. I also picked up this year the Rowan eyeshadow palette. This is the 1111 quad. Very beautiful, a super unique formula. These are definitely more cream shadows. These are super beautiful on the lids, very, very sparkly, but they crease really badly. So I kind of have to keep that in mind whenever I use that. I also have this Pat McGrath quad, and I have not even used this yet, honestly. Can't believe I haven't used it yet. This is the Celestial Divinity Luxe quad in the shade Interstellar Icon. This has that beautiful blue shade in it. It's very, very stunning, and I seriously need to use this palette. I don't know why I haven't used this yet. Shame on me. And then lastly, I have my Tom Ford quads. So these I have picked up from the Cosmetic Company outlet store. So if you have a CCO near you, I highly recommend that you check them out for the Tom Ford quads. So my personal favorite is the shade Nude Dip. This is a beautiful, beautiful color story. It's very everyday appropriate. Really love this kind of like this baked formula. It's super beautiful. And these look, I wouldn't say these are worth nearly $90 for these, because I want to say these retail for like $90 or $88 or something. I would not go as far as to say that they're worth that price, but they're definitely worth like 35 bucks at a CCO, because they do still look very beautiful on the eyes. I also have the shade Body Heat. Body Heat is another really, really beautiful color story. Again, very neutral, a little bit more kind of warm toned, and this is super stunning as well. So really happy to have that one. And then I do have a more colorful one. This one is in the shade Daydream, and this is definitely going to be for you purple lovers out there. This is definitely a purple eyeshadow palette, and my impression so far with the Tom Ford formula is you want to get the shadows that looked baked. So you see how these kind of have like a dome to them? That is what I would recommend. Whenever they're flat, I don't feel like I enjoy the formula as much as whenever they appear to be more of a baked shadow. So yes, really, really enjoy these little quads from Tom Ford. But that is my little mini eyeshadow palette collection. Kind of a random video, I know, but I would love to do more content, or maybe just more videos in general on more curated eyeshadow palettes. I feel like that could be fun. So maybe I could like rank my mini eyeshadow palettes, or rank my quads, or discuss my favorite ones or something like that. But I thought this would be a nice way to just kind of introduce my mini palette collection, my quads, things like that. But if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!